Mowing, tilling, digging, lifting, or hauling. Check out the full line of tough and versatile Coyote tractors, attachments, implements, and accessories at Whittemore & Sons, your Coyote tractor dealer, with dependable sales in service for over 50 years. Run ahead of the pack with a Coyote tractor from Whittemore & Sons on the Waterville Road in Skowhegan. Sales and service by a family who cares.
From work to fun, we'll help you get it done. Whittemore & Sons, outdoor power equipment.
I'm CBS 13 meteorologist Lexi O'Connor. Mostly cloudy to start this morning, then becoming partly sunny with a slight chance for a passing shower this afternoon and evening. It will be warmer with highs back in the mid-70s. Partly sunny, mid-70s to near 80 degrees tomorrow. Mostly cloudy with the chance for showers or a thunderstorm both Thursday and Friday. Low 70s Thursday, near 80 Friday.
Well, welcome back. Are we back here? Are we okay? Was that too loud? My head is messed up here because I'm hearing out of one ear. Just to let you know, if some things are louder than others, the trouble is not in your set. The trouble is absolutely in my head this morning, and I can't help it. One ear is still completely plugged up, but thankfully there is no. There we go. Okay, Dottie, good. I can see you now. This is good. All right, we're making progress. So I do have the comments, and I will show you right there if you're watching on video. Dottie says flashes me. Now wait a minute. Now flashes me the peace sign and a smile. Don't get your mind out of the gutter, will ya? For crying out loud. For crying out loud. All right. More local stuff. It was a big weekend. It was Memorial Day weekend. You wouldn't have known it by Kamala Harris's post, would you now? We'll get to that later. Veterans, members of law enforcement, and spectators turned out for a Memorial Day parade in Skowhegan. This radio station's home, Skowhegan. And it was nice. Rain was there for most of the weekend, off and on, and yesterday, but apparently not during the parade at 10 o'clock, led by David Bucknam. David's a nice guy. I've met David Bucknam. I'm pretty sure I have. He's the chief of the Skowhegan Police. He's also a veteran, by the way. And he shared his thoughts about the American flag, which he said stands for liberty and justice. I like it. I like it when officials are all on board with liberty and justice. I think that is fabulous, and that's exactly what he said. He said, I look at everyone gathered today, and I'm honored to stand with you to celebrate and recognize our veterans and fallen heroes. The flag of our country being flown at half-mast honors those who lost their lives, but I can say it makes me proud to know that I and many of you have fought for and continue the legacy of the incredible men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice for us and future generations to live in freedom. And of course, we know that legacy is in peril now, thanks to the left, and only the left. The Memorial Day parade went along Madison Avenue, and Reverend Mark Tanner. You remember Reverend Mark Tanner? He's the guy at the Skowhegan Federated Church that predicted the outcome of what was it? Was it the Patriots Seahawks? He predicted the score on his sign, and he was right on. He was right on. He nailed it. He missed the Super Bowl, but he did get, and I can't remember if it was the Seahawks. I forget who it was. Not a huge football fan. But he welcomed those who attended and offered prayers, honored a World War II veteran, Eugene Cullinan, who is 94 years old. He was the Grand Marshal of the parade, and he stood to be recognized. God bless him. Good morning again, Alan. Yeah, we're good. We're getting the comments now. So good for him. Eugene Cullinan, World War II vet. There aren't many of them left, are there? Unbelievable that we've still got some, and they should be admired. I wonder what they're thinking now. Those World War II vets who are still alive. I would like to sit. You know what? I would love to sit down. I'm going to have to try to see if we could get him on the phone sometime. Eugene Cullinan. I have no idea if he's near, if he has a phone or where he's located. But he was at the parade. He was the Grand Marshal. So. Pretty amazing guy. That whole generation, that was the greatest generation. Look at the generation we've got now, will you? Huh? Pretty sad, isn't it? I mean, not all. There are some good young people out there, don't get me wrong. But speaking of the generations, this generation is, by comparison, as a generation, lame, anti-American, anti-freedom, anti-constitution, anti. And for the first time that I know of, we have a whole squad of women who hate America and what America stands for. We have people in our Congress who hate this great country and its founding principles. That's where we are in 2021. How about that? Did you ever think you would see the day? Halldale, Ian Stebbins is a winner. He is a winner. He didn't think he'd be able to compete in 3 sports, but he could. 3-sport athlete is the winner of the Maine Principals Award, given by the principal. I always pronounced it principal. It recognizes a student for his or her academic success and good citizenship. Mouthful. Now Ian Stebbins plays soccer, basketball, and he also competes in jumping and pole vaulting in track and field. So Ian Stebbins, congratulations to you, my friend. Now our loser patrol. Loser patrol. Wow, this is, I don't know if you heard about this, but somebody who pulled over to help a motorist in trouble was severely beaten on the Maine Turnpike. All right, this is stuff that's supposed to not happen in Maine, right? Happened around 10 o'clock Saturday night. Actually, it wasn't on the Turnpike. It was on Barry's Mill Road in West Bath. A guy was driving along, and he saw a woman trying to wave down help, so he pulled over. She claimed her SUV had broken down. And he got out to help, see if he could help. 3 guys jumped out of the car, came over, and beat the crap out of him, beat him unconscious. Then they ran into the woods. What this woman did, took him out to the back of the SUV. 3 men jumped out, assaulted him, caused him to lose consciousness, and caused significant facial injuries. And the victim never saw him, according to Saginaw County Chief Deputy Sheriff Brett Strout. Neighbors called the police and told CBS 13 that they ran outside with their guns. Good. Telling you right now. Had this Good Samaritan been armed? Maybe he was. I don't know. But if he was armed, I'm guessing he wasn't. He was getting out to help a woman whose car had broken down. Probably wasn't armed. Case for a gun right there. Case for a gun. Not saying he would have had to kill somebody, but he would have had the only thing that would have been adequate to defend against 3 attackers. And yeah, deadly force would have been justified. Absolutely would have been justified. May not have had to use it. May have just had to pull it out, pull the gun out, and they see the gun and they run lots of times. If not, boom, boom, boom. Sorry. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Oh, yeah, I'm heartless. I'm heartless. No, I want to live. I want to live. I don't want the crap beaten out of me on the side of the road for trying to do a good thing. But this guy, sadly, he got beat up. Neighbors told our news partner, Channel 13, we needed to lock our doors immediately because they all took off running in the woods. They tried to track the suspects with a canine. They didn't have any luck. Victim was taken to Maine Med. Now, about an hour later, a similar incident happened on Route 1 in Brunswick. A woman in a dark-colored SUV was waving down traffic. However, this time, a security guard in a marked car pulled over. And when he got to the car, the woman said she was okay. Nothing to see here. They're trying to find if these are related incidents. Pretty good bet they are. Unless they have teams of these people out there doing this sort of thing. Pretty scary, isn't it, huh? 9:36 on Legacy 1160 WSKW. More losers, this time from southern Maine. 30 vehicles in the old port, where people like to go, have a good time, party, do a little bar hopping, a little partying. 30 vehicles in the old port had at least one tire slashed. Some had more than one tire slashed. Yesterday morning at about 1:20 in the morning, cops responded to reports of a man slashing tires in the old port. They caught him. 43-year-old James Rosakis was arrested. You can find his picture at the WGME website. And you, like me, will look at him and say, he looks like a bright one. Trust me on that. And Rosakis faces charges of felony criminal mischief, criminal trespass, violating bail conditions. Oh, he's a repeat offender. Imagine that. And he was also served a criminal trespass out of Biddeford. Huh. How about that? Repeat offender. I can't believe that. Can't believe it. The left wants to do away with jails. Get rid of bail. People can't afford it. Let them out. Give them another chance. Now, there you go. Even guys who have to pay bail. Here's another Biddeford story for you. Biddeford guy arrested Sunday afternoon in the parking lot of York County Sheriff's Office. An hour after he bailed himself out. Garrett Lucy. He's 39 years old. What is it with these old idiots? He's old enough to know better, but don't. Hey, Derica. Good morning. Thank you for the comment. Thank you. So this idiot, another idiot, 39 years old, arrested 1 o'clock Sunday morning for burglary. Around 11:30, the guy had bailed himself out. $500 it cost him to bail himself out of jail. And an hour later, he was found in the parking lot of the jail, smoking a cigarette in a car he didn't own, holding the owner's wallet. We need a rim shot. Hey, I got it back. We also have the time tone back, too. Time at the tone. 9:39. See, we got it all now. It's a work in progress here at Freedom's Pep Rally. Idiots. That's very unnerving, though, about the guy in Bath. How about that? Pull up. Is it any wonder people go flying by when they see somebody on the side of the road, especially at night? I used to think, when it was me who was pulled over on the side of the road, look at these people. They don't care. They only care about themselves. Don't pull over to help a motorist. Well, I guess it's no wonder when crap like this happens. Unnerving, scary. Our society is literally going to hell, and they want to defund the police. It is a mental disorder. Liberalism, wokeism, progressivism is a mental disorder. You are mentally disabled. Get a placard on your license plate. You shouldn't be walking around people. It's a mental disability. No, they shouldn't forget the placard. Many of them should probably stay put. They shouldn't be anywhere near the public. But now they're everywhere. And they proudly boast on Facebook how proud they are to be a progressive. What? You're proud you have mental illness? Get help. Hey, trust me, I've been there. I've gotten psychological help before. I know it works. It's helpful. Get psychological help from somebody who can help you, like, a conservative psychologist or licensed clinical therapist. Somebody who's conservative. The woke so-called doctors can't help you. They cannot help you. They will add to your problems. Serious. I'm absolutely serious. Conservatism compared to progressivism, which is radicalism, is far preferred in our country today by rational, objective humans. Well, does that make you an animal? I don't know. If the shoe fits, I guess. There are some rational people in this country, and I'm proud to know a bunch of them. You, listening to this show, you're a rational, freedom-loving human being. I appreciate your being there every day. I hope you share the video cast. I hope you share the audio cast. We now have an app. You can get it at the App Store, the Apple Store, or the Google Store, whatever they call the stores. Again, I have no idea. All I know is I recognize the icon. When I want an app, I recognize the icon. How many people don't know what programs they have on their computer, but they know what icon opens, the word processor or the browser, or I don't know what. Well, I do know. I do know most of the icons on my computer, what programs they link to. But people don't know. I'll tell my wife, why don't you open the Opera browser? Opera is my favorite. Open the Opera browser, and she's like, and I said it's the red O. Oh. Icons have made us. Remember when you used to have to type? You may not. When you used to have to type in commands into a DOS prompt, the C prompt, you type in commands, or maybe you got lucky and had a menu that you could highlight what you wanted to open. Word processor, enter, and the word processor would magically open up. It was text. It wasn't an icon. It was just word processor or whatever you wanted the menu to say. Or you actually had to type it into the C prompt. WP for word perfect, for example. And boom, the program would open. Now it's just pretty pictures you click on. That's where I like it. You know, I'm not going to lie to you, but I don't know what the store is called. We do have the new app brought to you by Hardy Wolf and Downing law firm. So that's good news for us this morning. Okay, one of the people I know, one of the people I'm happy to know is a young lady named Savannah. She is from Texas, and she does a show called The Savvy Truth. And she does commentary. She is amazing. When she has something to say, she can say it lickety-split in a minute, and she can make a ton of points. You've got to follow along, or you're going to miss them. But she makes a ton of great points, and they're all right on, and then she's out. It's like, here's what I got to say, says it, and I'm out. Boom. And you've got a day's worth of wisdom in 60 seconds or less. Well, she just won her rodeo. Congratulations to Savannah. She just won a rodeo queen contest this past weekend. And once again, she is telling it like it is. Listen, as our friend and up-and-coming conservative superstar dispels the lies told daily by brain-sick progressives. This is Savannah Lynn. And follow along. Now, I'm telling you, she's quick, but she's good. Take it away, Savvy.
Here's some truth that Liberty and I are absolutely done arguing about. You cannot choose your gender. Pedophilia is not a sexual preference. The Second Amendment is here to protect us from a tyrannical government. Me talking about Jesus Christ is not me forcing my religion upon you. Making your 4-year-old use crocheted human genitalia and making them take hormone blockers at that young of an age is abuse and dangerous. The Constitution is the supreme law of this land. We are a constitutional republic with capitalism, and that is a good thing. There is no such thing as hate speech, just speech that offends you. You cannot force me to be your experimental human lab rat for your untested drugs. Our military is not a woke social justice platform. They are heroes and deserve to be treated with that respect. Voter ID laws are not racist. I am not a birthing person. I am a woman. Men and women are biologically different. Abortion does, in fact, murder your unborn child. The melanin in your skin does not determine your success or failure in life. Rodeo is the greatest sport ever. And this is America, land of the free, home of the brave. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everyone. Please get your bald eagles and AR-15s at the door.
I love a birthing person. That's what the woke idiots, and what do you call them besides idiots? Idiots. That if you here's my Jeff Foxworthy routine. If you think a pregnant woman should be called a birthing person, you might be an idiot. No, you are an idiot. Okay, all right. And there's another name for breastfeeding, too. I forget what that is. It's so stupid. It's stupidity. It's nuts. Oh, goodness. We've got a 947 here on Legacy 1160 WSKW. Going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. I'm John James.
WSKW, Legacy 1160.
Incense and Peppermints doesn't just have a huge selection of scrumptious candies. They have sweet treats that'll bring back wonderful memories every time you share them. Incense and Peppermints has candy that's fun for the whole family, like Jelly Bellies, Smarties, Turkish Taffy, Mellow Cups, Laffy Taffy, and Necco Wafers. And candy that'll take you on a trip down memory lane, like old-fashioned penny candies, root beer barrels, atomic fireballs, Mary Jane's Bit of Honey, and Jawbreakers. They even carry Maine favorites like Moose Poop and Saltwater Taffy. Incense and Peppermints, 48 Main Street in downtown Waterville.
What's important here at Moody's is we have a lot of opportunity for upward mobility.
Moody's definitely helped me through. They sent me to school. I got my degree in business. I had the demeanor and I had the willpower and the want.
Our trade is constantly changing and there's always new challenges that arise.
I definitely feel like an owner. It's very exciting.
When you like what you do, you like your job, you like the people you work with, what else could you ask for?
Bring your skills to Moody's and build a long-term future with us.
I'm CBS 13 meteorologist Lexi O'Connor. Mostly cloudy to start this morning, then becoming partly sunny with a slight chance for a passing shower this afternoon and evening. It will be warmer with highs back in the mid-70s. Partly sunny, mid-70s to near 80 degrees tomorrow. Mostly cloudy with the chance for showers or a thunderstorm both Thursday and Friday. Low 70s Thursday, near 80 Friday.
Thank you very much, Lexi. Again, I apologize if the audio level is all over the place today. I apologize for that. I'm hard of hearing today in one ear. I hope it'll come back. Never thought of that. I think it will. I have ways to tell if I've permanently lost my hearing or if it's temporary. I think my ear is plugged. Here's what I do, and I should ask the doctor if this is right or wrong. I will take my fingernail and I will scratch next to my ear, and I can hear it in my good ear. It's very loud in my good ear. I'll do the same thing on the other side, and it's also very loud on the other side. So internally, my hearing is working good. But externally, this ear is just not hearing anything. Hearing a little bit, but not much. Is that weird? Am I weird? Don't answer that. Thank you, Ellen. Ellen says, I earned the title of mom. Amen to that, Ellen. You are a mom. You aren't a birthing person. Sickos. They are whack jobs. And Savvy is not the only one we have speaking out. Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon's War Room. Steve Bannon was a former Trump advisor. He was actually a big part of coming up with the whole MAGA movement. Make America Great Again. How do you know he's making waves and being heard? Well, I'll tell you how. Because NBC News, specifically Henry Gomez and Alan Smith, just did a hit piece on him. Now, why would they promote somebody in a hit piece? And that's what it is. Any promotion, positive or negative, is good promotion. So here's what it says. Here's what their hit piece on Steve Bannon says. Steve Bannon has a new MAGA megaphone, and Republicans eager to shine in a party still tethered to former President Donald Trump know it. Can you get much more hateful than that? But it's okay. It's okay. So people are going to know how to find Steve Bannon's War Room right now. And believe me, the left needs to find it. They need to find more of this. Bannon, the former Breitbart news executive and one of the architects of Trump's Make America Great Again movement, has increasingly leveraged his War Room pandemic podcast into a kind of a proxy primary, the article says. Ambitious Republicans are flocking there for a chance to demonstrate loyalty to Bannon's former boss and pitch themselves to Trump's voters, and more indirectly, to Trump himself. With Fox News appearing to lose favor among some of Trump's most diehard fans, War Room appears to be gaining steam as a safe space for the far right. It's routinely among the most popular podcasts on Apple's platform and streams live twice each weekday and once every Saturday through the Real America's Voice network. On this show, Joe Biden is not the real president, and the theory that COVID-19 leaked from a Wuhan, China lab has been a hot topic for more than a year. Bannon encourages skepticism about vaccines one minute and peddles zinc and vitamin D pills the next. Steve Bannon is right. These hacks at mainstream media, some of them are still in denial that Donald Trump was correct about the Wuhan flu. They are still in denial about that. But let me tell you, not everybody is. No. Mainstream media is having, I guess, sort of a come to Jesus moment, so to speak. ABC News yesterday. Was it yesterday or Sunday? I wasn't going to do this story right now, but this all sort of ties right in. See if I can find it. Maybe I won't be able to find it as quickly as I hoped I would. Here we go. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's do a little COVID talk. This is precious. So the mainstream media is backpedaling now on the potential origin of coronavirus. Suddenly, they're taking the Wuhan lab theory seriously, as more evidence seems to make this a real possibility of being the origin of COVID-19. Now, the media that leftists love and trust, believe with all their heart and soul, called it baseless claims for the last year. The media that the leftists worship as a religion, as a god. Oh, the god of MSNBC, Joe Scarborough, Joy Reid, Al Sharpton, we worship you. Amen and women. Remember that? Well, you know why the mainstream media called it baseless claims, the Wuhan lab leak theory? You know why? They all but admitted it. Because Donald Trump and Mike Pompeo said it. And they were not allowed, it's in their contracts. You are not allowed to back Donald Trump in any way. There is nothing truthful about these news organizations. Nothing at all. It's all a political move for the DNC. It's all politically oriented. They are made up stories to further the leftist progressive narrative. They aren't news, in other words. They are not news. Now they're saying they couldn't believe Donald Trump because he was saying racist things like Kung flu and China flu and the China virus. So that's why they didn't believe him, because he was racist. John Carl on ABC. You got to hear this. Listen, as John Carl on ABC embarrassingly stumbles through his admission because he lied. They've been lying for the last year. They have known, trust me, they've known all along that the Wuhan lab leak is plausible and maybe, in fact, probable. But they've been lying. They've been calling it baseless claims because they didn't want to throw Trump any bones. None. It was all political. There was nothing truthful, all political. Lie, all lies, all the time, mainstream media. So John Carl stumbles through this admission, saying that a lot of so-called journalists have egg on their face.
And yes, I think a lot of people have egg on their face. This was an idea that was first put forward by Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, Donald Trump. And look, some things may be true even if Donald Trump said them. And there was, because Trump was saying so much else that was just out of control, and because he was, making a frankly racist appeal, talking about Kung flu and the China virus, his notion that put forward that this may have, or no, he said flatly that this came from that lab, was widely dismissed.
Easy, John. Easy, John. You had a lot of time to prepare the statement. Don't sound all flustered. Don't sound all flustered now, because you have to actually say some of the things Donald Trump said may have been right, but we couldn't believe him because he's racist. No, they couldn't believe him because they weren't allowed to say anything that could possibly give Donald Trump or any of his administration, like Mike Pompeo, an ounce of credit. What children? Leftism, progressivism is a mental disorder. It's eating away at the brains of politicians, of your friends and neighbors, of professors, of academia, of students. Students' brains are not being taught. They aren't expanding in knowledge. Their brains, you're spending $50,000 to $70,000 a year to put your kid through higher education only to have their minds destroyed. I've seen it with my own two eyes. Conservative kids go into college and come out just as left as hell. It drives me insane. There's one girl. There was this one young girl who grew up as a conservative, one of my daughter's good friends. Went to college and whoa, it was a different human being. It literally was a different person. What kind of an effect does college have on students? I will show you firsthand what kind of effect college has on students, thanks to a little audio from Campus Reform. That's coming up after the news. We'll be right back. This is Freedom's Pep Rally, brought to you by the Gun Shop on Coney Circle in Augusta. I'm John James.
From the Home Auto Group Studios, Farmington Ford and Franklin Chrysler in Farmington. This is WSKW, Skowhegan, Augusta, Waterville, Legacy 1160.
ABC News, I'm Faith Abube. President Biden heading to Tulsa, Oklahoma today on the 100th anniversary of the race massacre that took place in what was known at the time as Black Wall Street.
The president's scheduled to tour the Greenwood Cultural Center and is expected to meet with survivors and descendants of what's considered to be one of the worst acts of racial violence in America. The Biden administration today announced a new plan to address racial income inequality with a focus on investing federal funds in Black communities.
ABC's Karen Travers, who will be traveling with the president today. Moderna has started the process of applying for full use authorization of its COVID vaccine. A city in Vietnam is locking down after doctors discovered a new COVID variant. Vietnam's vaccination rate is low. Less than 1% of the population has received a shot so far. The Catholic Church updating church law to criminalize sex abuse by priests, and any priest who ordains a woman will also be excommunicated, as will the woman, according to the new laws. This is ABC News. Criticism this morning for President Biden from the leading group advocating for African Americans.
The NAACP slamming President Biden and his administration for the lack of action on student loan debt relief. Tackling student loan debt was a campaign promise, and the civil rights organization is not the only name pointing out Mr. Biden's failure so far on the issue. Progressive Democrats, including Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, have also complained. NAACP President Derek Johnson saying in a statement, while many components of President Biden's budget appear to be encouraging, it fails to address a key issue at the core of the racial wealth gap, the student loan debt crisis. Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Twitter is set to start putting new labels on tweets to fight the spread of misinformation. Suspect tweets could include labels that read, "Get the latest," "Stay informed," or "misleading," and will include links for more information. Those links will likely go to external websites or to a curated collection of tweets. Faith Abube, ABC News.
All hits all the time.
Let's go commercial free. Even though saying we're going commercial free is technically a commercial for this station. When I say commercial free, I mean no commercials from our sponsors. But saying that is still a commercial of sorts, just to be clear. Okay, now I'm confused. Let's go commercial free. Except for this message about how we're going commercial free.
Maybe commercials about going commercial free just need a Snickers. Snickers satisfies.
The Progressive ABC Insider.
I've been an advocate for emotional sobriety.
Sopranos actor Joe Pantoliano has a new podcast, No Kidding, Me Too, all about mental wellness, something he could not have done without his family.
They helped me get through the toughest climbs of my spiritual and physical life.
The Progressive ABC Insider is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You can save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit progressive.com. I'm ABC's Matt Wolf.
Legacy 1160, WSKW.
It's a new year. Aren't you tired of walking over the same beaten up old flooring? It's time you installed a new floor that offers premium durability by contacting HT Winters about their line of Tarkett Pro Gen tile and wood flooring. Tarkett is designed to stand strong in all seasons against water, dirt, and sunlight. The best way to improve your home this winter is to install Tarkett Pro Gen tile and wood flooring. HT Winters, 43 Bay Street in Winslow, and online at htwintersflooring.com.
Welcome back. Hi there, John James, Freedom's Pep Rally, on your radio and in your face. We are powered by Online, our audio is brought to you by the Harry J. Smith Company on Sanger Avenue in Waterville. And, of course, the video powered by Moody's Collision Center. We are all over the interwebs, social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, VK.com, which has never shut us down. They're a Russian site, by the way. Looks like Joe Biden may be in trouble with Russia. Is that a surprise to you, really? We'll get to that. We will get to that coming up here in just a little while. There's just so much stuff to get to. Let's talk about Biden's bribe. Joe Biden and his allies, according to a report at Fox News, Joe Biden and his buds, I wonder who they could be. Who could Joe Biden's buddies be? Well, I think we can narrow it down. We've got John Kerry. We've got Devin Archer. We've got Christopher Hines. We have Hunter. We have, who else do we have? Did I say John Kerry? John Kerry. Yeah, I think I've pretty much nailed some of his buds. Susan Rice. Cacklin Cammy. Oh, Cacklin Cammy bombed this weekend. Woo! Bad. Can't wait to tell you more about that. Stick around. So Richard Burritt is a managing partner at McClarty Associates and a former U.S. ambassador to Germany during the Reagan administration. He gave $4,000 for Joe Biden in October of last year and dropped another $10,000 in the leftist-aligned political action committee, Unite the County, in March 2020, March of last year, according to FEC records. In addition to violating Biden's own campaign pledge not to take lobbyist cash, the money from Burritt is particularly noteworthy because he is currently directly engaged in lobbying activities for Nord Stream 2 AG. Wait a minute now. Wait just a minute. What is Nord 2 AG Stream? What? It's a pipeline. You know how Joe Biden recently decided not to place sanctions on Russia for this pipeline? What? But I thought Russia bad. Russia bad. Sanction Russia. Plus, you're destroying the environment, Joe, with the oil. You shut down the Keystone XL pipeline in America, shut it down, putting people out of work, annihilating good-paying jobs. By the way, where are the turbine builders, the solar panel builders? Where are all those jobs, Joe? John Kerry, where are they? I'm not seeing any. I haven't seen any wanted ads in the newspaper for these high-paying green energy jobs. Where are they, Joe? So he cancels the Keystone XL pipeline on day one. And he tells Russia, go ahead, we aren't going to sanction you. We aren't going to give you any penalties. Well, isn't it interesting how he was able to get big donations from the guy lobbying for the Nord Stream 2 AG? What is it exactly? Well, here's what it is. It's an underwater twin pipeline that would transport natural gas from Russia directly to Germany. It's 1,230 kilometers long, and it's to follow the route of the existing Nord Stream twin pipeline under the Baltic Sea. Natural gas. Fracking. Environment. Germany. China. No problem. We're going to not give you any sanction. No, don't worry. Don't worry about it. Can you say bribe from Russia? Why are the Republicans not as quick to jump on, impeach that son of a... They've got plenty of reasons to impeach Joe Biden already. Not a word. Crickets. Who is saving America if not us? Michael Flynn, maybe? Did you hear what he said? Woo! Boy, he got some heads exploding. I love it. I love this guy. So General Michael Flynn, what did he say? Was he calling for the military to launch a coup attempt against the current administration? Or was he just asking a question? You decide. I'll let you hear it. You decide. Newsweek is already proclaiming a possible court-martial for Flynn after he made remarks on Sunday, which were made during a Q&A session at the For God and Country Patriot Roundup in Dallas. They reported that Colonel Eugene Vindman, who was fired by the Trump White House, tweeted out yesterday, quote, "With these seditious remarks, Comrade Flynn may have crossed the line for recall to active duty and court-martial." Now, you might recognize the last name Vindman. You might remember his brother, his twin brother, Alexander Vindman, testified against Donald Trump in the impeachment over the Ukraine debacle, which was, again, Joe Biden and Hunter Biden's big problem. Never floated. No. See how good the Democrats are? Adam Schiff kept the pressure on. He kept the pressure on Trump. Never let it get diverted to where it should have been, to Hunter and Joe. Never. And the mainstream media, they were so compliant. Never brought up the fact that Joe bragged about getting the prosecutor in the Ukraine fired. They were getting ready to investigate Burisma, where Hunter Biden sat, making over $80,000 a month for something he knew nothing about. But Adam Schiff and the allegiant mainstream media, the compliant mainstream media, made sure the pressure stayed on. Saul Alinsky, the Bible is Rules for Radicals by Saul Alinsky. They played that book right to its very core. So, anyway, that was Alexander Vindman, the twin brother of the guy Eugene Vindman, who tweeted yesterday that Flynn could be court-martialed. Okay, I want you to listen to General Flynn's remarks. These were made on Sunday, just so there's no discrepancy in what he said. You'll hear it.
I want to know why what happened in Myanmar can't happen here.
Well, that's it.
No reason. I mean, you can see how.
All right. Okay, that was it. Was it? I was able to hear that when I put this together. What he said is, what is the reason that there can't be a coup like Myanmar, where the military overthrew the government in Myanmar in March? I think it was March or February. No, maybe it was February. Hold on. No, I think it was I think it was early February the coup in Myanmar. That was all over the news. You probably remember that. And this is what General Flynn asked, why couldn't that happen here in the United States? He didn't call for it. He asked. He just floated a question. That is not a statement. For the literal among us, and they seem to be very literal about things, he did not call for a coup. He just said, well, why couldn't there be a coup like Myanmar? I'm glad someone in the military had the gonads to float the obvious. I mean, people, we have been talking about something like, a coup or a civil war for over a year now, since well before the election, and certainly just after the election. The way things are going out of control, spinning perilously out of control, circling the proverbial drain. General Flynn issued a statement that made sense after Vindman called for his court-martial. The left loves to take things out of context and blow them up. The progressive lamestream media survives by writing fiction stories and reporting them as news. That's the media. Here's what General Flynn tweeted. Let me be very clear, capital letters. There is no reason whatsoever for any coup in America, and I do not and have not at any time called for any action of that sort. He did not. He didn't. Any reporting of any other belief by me is a bold-faced fabrication based on twisted reporting at a lively panel at a conference of patriotic Americans who love this country just as I do. And they don't. They don't love the country. Your mainstream media, your mainstream progressives, your leftists do not like America. They're being taught not to like America in kindergarten going right through college now. They're being taught to hate America, to think America is racist, and if they are a white child, they are being taught that they are born into racism. Facts. Now, I know you're probably saying to yourself, geez, I wonder how Keith Olbermann is taking news that General Flynn called for a coup. Well, first of all, let me assure Keith Olbermann before he goes flying off the deep end, oops, too late, that he wasn't calling for a coup. He just said, why couldn't a coup happen in America? Maybe it could. Well, I'll tell you what, it's not going well for Keith Olbermann. The poor guy has Trump derangement syndrome to the 10th power, and in addition to the progressive mental disorder that he has, he's also got this diarrhea of the mouth problem. He can't find a position. He goes and does sports for a while. Then he gets so triggered by politics, he has to go back to... The guy is just a child. He's a man-child. He's a man-boob. He is just a boob. So he went off on quite a humorous rant yesterday. If you take any of what Keith Olbermann said, by the way, he was on MSNBC, if that gives you any indication what kind of guy he is. He got fired from MSNBC. The guy's a loser. He's a loudmouth loser. If you take any of what he says here seriously, I'm telling you, please seek professional help. But you got to hear it. Here's Keith Olbermann reacting to General Flynn's asking if there could be a coup like Myanmar here in America.
Daily, the Republicans undermine democracy and prepare their cult members for violence and fascism. Thus, we who believe in representative government in this country must recognize and use the weapons we have to defend this country. And that must include defense at the state and private level. Literally under the cloak of overnight darkness, the state of Texas passed legislation that outlaws the teaching of the history of racism in this country and the teaching of current events. Nothing more controversial than the 13th Amendment to ban slavery, nothing more recent than the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Texas is also going to close polling locations in Democratic districts and restrict abortions to the time before most women even know they are pregnant.
Oh my God!
The solution to the issue of the Ku Klux Klan textbooks is surprisingly simple. Colleges and universities should not recognize high school diplomas from Texas, not from Texas public schools, not from Texas private schools. If you want to go to college somewhere else, you'll need 2 years in a junior college in a real state or something like a GED. That legislation would be erased from the books within months if that happened. This is the attitude those of us who want democracy and not dictatorship must take. Republican-dominated states attempting to rewrite federal law or Supreme Court verdicts or the basic right of every American to vote must suffer twice as much as they try to make the rest of the country suffer. The Republicans are lost. They are committed to Trumpism. They are committed to refusing all election outcomes they do not like. They are committed to violence. Faced with the existential issue that the demographics of the nation will make them into a permanent minority, they are willing to sacrifice everything, including you and me and this nation's future, to retain their power.
What a jerk.
It is like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. They are gone. Stop trying to negotiate with them. The Republicans' naked attempt to overthrow the government last January was just practice. These are bullies. And bullies stop only when they are hurt more than they can hurt. And the anti-democracy party must be hurt so badly that it can never recover.
Wow. Delusional is delusional. The anti-democracy party? Real states outside of Texas? Oh, they're trying to stop killing babies. What was he even talking about? Bullies? Bullies on the, you mean the tourists walking through the Capitol taking pictures on January 6th? No. The bullies are your peeps, Keith Olbermann. The bullies are your peeps out there on the streets of Portland, Oregon, going after trying to kill Andy Ngo. The real bullies are the people who went out and tried to attack somebody for having the thin blue line painted on a truck. No, those Keith Olbermann are the bullies. Ask Ted Wheeler, the hapless mayor of Portland, Oregon, who the real bullies are. They're the people purportedly on his side, the far leftists, who drove him out of a restaurant and bitch slapped him in a chair when he was dining with a woman. Oh, talk about where do they get these people? Go back to sports, Keith. You're too stupid to be a commentator. You're just too dumb. He really is. He really is mindless. He's an idiot. I mean, how else would you put it? He's a mook. Thank you. He's a mook. So, I wonder if he'll have a similar diatribe after Sidney Powell made a speech at this event in Texas. I wonder if she'll be court-martialed. I don't think so. Here's what she had to say at the same event that General Flynn spoke at over the weekend. Sidney Powell.
We're in uncharted territory.
We're definitely in uncharted territory. There are cases where elections have been overturned, but there's never been one at the presidential level, which everybody will jump to point out. That doesn't mean that it can't be done, though. There's always a first case, and as far as I know, this is the first case of abject fraud in obtaining a coup of the United States of America. So it's going to have to be dealt with. It should be that he can simply be reinstated, that a new inauguration date is set. And Biden is told to move out of the White House, and President Trump should be moved back in. I'm sure there's not going to be credit for time lost, unfortunately, because the Constitution itself sets the date for inauguration. But he should definitely get the remainder of his term and make the best of it. That's for sure.
Sidney Powell, Now, do I think Donald Trump's going to be president after all of this fraud is investigated, if it is investigated, if the investigations are even fair? I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath. Stranger things have happened, though. And there are, I mean, the counts, the audits are still going on. I don't think it's going to change anything. I really don't. I think what she's saying was great for the base. They loved it. I personally don't think it's going to change a thing. But I wouldn't mind being proven wrong. Not on this. I haven't heard any fallout from that speech, but I'm sure there will be some. In fact, I'll probably post it later on today and just see heads explode on the left. I don't think the left comes to my page anymore, though. It's too bad. I used to like to see their comments. Just to see them. Maybe respond to a few. It was kind of fun. Let's see. Speaking of comments, what are we getting here? My hat. This is a Spotter. This is Spotter the Otter. That is the Spotter the Otter is a hat I got from the Cobbessy Friends of the Cobbessy Watershed District, which is, I believe it's still a thing. My friend Bob Moore used to run it, and he got me a couple of these hats, and I love Spotter the Otter. It really doesn't say anything, though, does it? It doesn't. You don't say, oh, that's the Cobbessy Watershed District. No, that's what it is, though. It's Spotter the Otter. And Angela has a 28-year-old daughter. Yeah, we were talking about birthing people. We weren't. It was Savannah from The Savvy Truth saying she is a woman, not a birthing person. That's the politically correct term for a pregnant woman now, birthing person. And there's and here it is, chest feeding. That's what it is, chest feeding. Instead of breastfeeding, chest feeding. That's the politically, because we need to be inclusive. Because men can breastfeed too. Men can have periods too. What? Yeah, sorry, I roll my eyes. You call me transphobic or whatever you want to. I don't care. You know, I can think what I want to, right? I will not call anybody out. I won't make fun of anybody who has the dysphoria, the psychological issue that these people do. I will not make fun of them. But I'm sorry, I'm going to be shaking my head. I just, okay, whatever. Chest feeding, birthing person, yeah, whatever. Again, don't start minimizing a woman based on I don't even want to call it that. It's breastfeeding, it's pregnant mom. It's not birthing person. That dehumanizes a woman. A woman is the only one that can be pregnant. Naturally. A woman is the only one that can breastfeed naturally. Okay, so if you want to call it chest feeding, you want to call it birthing person, fine, unless you're talking about women specifically. If you're talking about a woman, she is a pregnant woman. She's not a birthing person. We aren't going to use your sick little inclusive terminology for everybody, including women. Sorry. Use it for who you want to use it for, but not for women. Women are pregnant women. Women are women who are carrying a child. They're heavy with a child. Women breastfeed. All natural. So I will assume going forward, when you talk about chest feeding or birthing person, you are talking about an unnatural thing happening to a transgendered person. There is no other reason to change the American lexicon, to dehumanize and devalue women. I'm not going to change. I don't care what you tell me I've got to say. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Science. Choo, choo, choo. Oh, Dottie wants to know what last week I was telling you about, and I didn't do this. I didn't even get, it was a kind of a crappy weekend for me personally with the earache, and plus we went to visit the kids, and I didn't get down to my folks' graves. But I told you on Friday that if I get to go to the graves, I wouldn't be going to the flower store. My wife went to Longfellow's and got a nice arrangement for her mom's grave. I told you I would be taking dandelions and lilacs to my folks' grave. And the reason for that is when we were kids, and my sister, I don't know if my sister Bonnie is listening today, but there is a picture of we three, my brother Danny, my sister Bonnie, and me, a picture of us, black and white picture of us standing there with I had the shears, I had the old lawn shears in my hands, and we all had a fistful of dandelions. And my mother was just overwhelmed to the point of tears, probably, knowing her that we had thought enough of her to go pick her flowers. And she put them in a cup, and she put them proudly on the window until they turned to fuzz. Literally, I'm not lying about that. Same thing with lilacs. Do the same thing with lilacs. We had lilac bushes all around the house. My mother loved lilac. My father could care less about flowers. My mother loved lilac, the smell of lilacs. Again, we'd pull them off the tree, bring them in, and she'd stick them in a vase of water or a big glass of water until they, turned brown and died. And nothing would make her happier than to know that she was remembered for what she loved about something her children had done for her. And that meant more to her than any big bouquet of flowers from Butler twins back in the day ever would have. Meant so much more to her. And so that's why whenever I go to the grave sites, and again, it hasn't been this year. My dad didn't care, but my father wouldn't care. My father would say, yeah, whatever. I think of my dad. I think of what they were like when they were alive. That's what how I remember them. I base on what would they think? If they're looking down on me, what would they think? Would they thank me for the $100 vase with beautiful flowers and chrysanthemums and whatever? I don't know flowers that well. Roses and carnations. Would my mother look down and appreciate that? Or would she shed a tear when she saw us putting lilacs and dandelions on the gravestone? And hands down. And another thing about those inexpensive, in fact, free dandelions and lilacs, they aren't going to get stolen. Guaranteed. You know what I'm talking about. And my dad would look down. It doesn't matter if it's lilacs or flower. He'd say, yeah, big deal. Give me a burger. Give me a Big Mac or something. I just sent him. My dad loved fried. He loved steamers. I leave him some steamers and some melted butter at the gravesite. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? That would be very cool. Think of what they liked when they were alive, and bring that to the gravesite. People will shake their head, but to you, and little inside joke between you and the dearly departed, right? Now, this is what they loved in life. Why am I going to give them something that would have meant nothing when they're gone to remember them? Doesn't make sense. Plus, it costs a lot more money. Well, the clams aren't going to be cheap. I will give you that. We got 10:33 right now. We'll be back with more. I'm John James. This is Freedom's Pep Rally.
Legacy 1160 WSKW.
Sales and service by a family who cares. Whittemore and Sons. Whittemore and Sons.
There are some things you can simply never depend on, like a perfectly cooked meal from the microwave. Will it be hot or will it be cold? There's only one way to find out. But know that you can always count on Whittemore & Sons in our line of Coyote tractors. Coyote tractors are machines made to work, whether it's mowing, tilling, digging, lifting, or hauling. Check out the full line of tough and versatile Coyote tractors, attachments, implements, and accessories at Whittemore & Sons, your Coyote tractor dealer, with dependable sales and service for over 50 years. Run ahead of the pack with a Coyote tractor from Whittemore & Sons on the Waterville Road in Skowhegan. Sales and service by a family who cares.
From work to fun, we'll help you get it done. Whittemore and Sons, outdoor power equipment.
Hi, this is Teresa Smith, Director of Advising at Kennebec Valley Community College. There's no denying that the past year has been one of challenges and uncertainty. Many of you have had to change or even postpone your educational plans. Still, by working together and caring for one another, things in Maine are looking up. We're getting back to normal, and no one could be happier about this than the faculty and staff at KVCC. With a wide variety of online summer classes available, you don't have to wait to join us. You can get started right away while continuing to stay safe. Whether you're a student home for the summer who wants to pick up a few classes at an affordable price, or a high school graduate hoping to get a jump on college, our multiple summer start dates offer something for everyone. Financial aid is available, and high school juniors and seniors may even qualify for a free summer course. A list of classes and start dates can be found on our website at kvcc.me.edu, or you can call the admissions team at 453-5822. That's 453-KVCC.
What's important here at Moody's is we have a lot of opportunity for upward mobility.
Moody's definitely helped me through. They sent me to school. I got my degree in business. I had the demeanor and I had the willpower and the want.
Our trade is constantly changing and there's always new challenges that arise.
I definitely feel like an owner. It's very exciting.
When you like what you do, you like your job, you like the people you work with, what else could you ask for?
Bring your skills to Moody's and build a long-term future with us.
I'm CBS 13 meteorologist Lexi O'Connor. Mostly cloudy to start this morning, then becoming partly sunny with the slight chance for a passing shower this afternoon and evening. It will be warmer with highs back in the mid-70s. Partly sunny, mid-70s to near 80 degrees tomorrow. Mostly cloudy with the chance for showers or thunderstorm both Thursday and Friday. Low 70s Thursday, near 80 Friday.
All right. Thank you very much there, Lexi O'Connor. Welcome back to Freedom's Pep Rally. I'm John James, and we are brought to you by the Gun Shop on Coney Circle in Augusta. All right, hold on. I can't. How do you silence the stupid phone? You close everything. There's something funky with the meters here. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't affecting what was going on the air, and it's not. We are Legacy 1160 WSKW, Maine's Heritage Station, and our show is brought to you by the Gun Shop on Coney Circle in Augusta. The video cast brought to you by Moody's Collision Centers, locations throughout Maine, led by the great former, he should be governor now, Sean Moody, but Mainers were more dumb than they ought to have been. So we wind up losing, God knows how many businesses we've lost in the last year under Dictator Mills' rule. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. He runs a great auto body franchise. It's a group of franchise. It's like, what do they call it? An empire. That's what it is. It's an empire. Moody's Collision Centers. And our audio stream at legacy1160.com is brought to you by the Harry J. Smith Company on Sanger Avenue in Waterville. And feel free to like, to share on whatever platform you're seeing this on. Please comment too. I am seeing a lot of the comments now. I don't know as we're seeing them from all of the different locations, but I am getting them from many. So go ahead and weigh in. If you have a question, you have a comment, I love to hear it. And I'm glad you like the dandelion story. And I'm glad you agree with me. I'm glad the women are agreeing. You know, women seem to participate more than men do sometimes. I think we've had all women today that I've seen from all platforms. Cindy, thank you very much. Like the dandelion story. True story. The dandelions and lilac story is a true story. And it may make you rethink how you remember certain people. And I don't just do it to save money, although I am sort of miserly, and I've seen very nice floral arrangements get stolen from graves so somebody else doesn't have to spend money. How they can live with themselves, I don't know, but apparently they can somehow. 1039. And here's some scary news about China, who Joe Biden and Hunter Biden and John Kerry and Devin Archer and probably Christopher Hines, probably still right in bed with the Chinese Communist government, just like the NBA and Disney. I mean, they might as well be communist organizations. The NBA and Walt Disney World. Walt Disney would be rolling in his grave if he knew that the magical company he started has become basically a communist sympathizer. That's neither here nor there, though. This is the story about China from WND.com. China's military could soon be patrolling the Atlantic Ocean, not far from some of America's major population centers. That warning comes from Gordon Chang. He is a Chinese expert at Gatestone Institute. He's also a distinguished senior fellow there. According to him, the communist regime is scouting for a naval base on the west coast of Africa. In the near future, therefore, Chinese ships could be regularly patrolling off America's east coast. Are you hearing this? Now, last time I checked, we're on America's east coast. He cited recent testimony from General Stephen Townsend, who is the commander of U.S. Africa Command. Said that right now China's only offshore military base is in Djibouti on the Horn of Africa. Townsend believes the People's Liberation Army Navy is surveying locations on Africa's west coast from Mauritania in the north to Namibia in the south. Only military base right now in Africa, Djibouti. Do you know what the national anthem of Djibouti is? Do you have any idea? It's shake, 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 shake Djibouti. You're welcome. You're welcome. Hey, you know, you got to have a little levity here, right? Doesn't all have to be skeletons and crossbones. We have a little fun over here, too. All right. Let's see. Let's do a little levity. Thank you, Shan. Thank you. Today's National Heimlich Maneuver Day. Let's pray we don't need that. It's a Heimlich maneuver, in case your head's in the sand, is a procedure to treat choking. The Detroit Pistons could use the Heimlich maneuver right about now, just saying. Not that I'm a big basketball fan. but they're sucking bog water. Let's see. Oh, it was on this day in 1868, former President James Buchanan died. Historians say that James Buchanan was probably our first gay president. He was a bachelor. He lived for 15 years with Alabama Senator William Rufus King. And if that's not enough, he owned 24 pairs of shoes. So, now it's widely thought that maybe, I don't know. And let's see. It was on this day in 1792, Kentucky. Welcome, Kentucky. My old Kentucky home. Kentucky was admitted on this day in 1792, the 15th state. Kentucky is famous for a bunch of things: fried chicken, bourbon, tobacco. So if you're an obese alcoholic with lung cancer, thank Kentucky. They're the ones. They are the ones. Do we have anything? And for oldies fans. Oh, good. I got something from a listener here, too. I love this, too. Happy belated birthday. Do you remember the song, Since I Fell for You? Ooh. Or is that too old for you? It's too old for me. I would never know that song. If I didn't do oldies, if I hadn't played oldies at many stops during my illustrious radio career, I would not know that song because I didn't like that song. I would have heard it once and never wanted to hear it again. Lenny Welch, he's actually still alive. Lenny Welch, the singer of the hit Since I Fell for You. Now, I don't want to say Lenny Welch is getting old, but he's got a new song out called Since I Fell for You and Couldn't Get Up for You. Since I Fell and Couldn't Get Up for You. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I should have worked that before I said it. And Shan sends me, it's also World Narcissistic Abuse Awareness Day. Important for folks to know, abuse is abuse, and if they want help, it's there. Narcissistic Abuse Awareness Day. I thought it was, at first I was going to say something about that. That's absolutely. Now, I'm not sure what Narcissistic Abuse Awareness Day is. I thought at first it was Narcissist Day. Because I don't miss that every year. I celebrate Narcissist Day because that day is all about me. Thank you. All right, I got a million of them. I'll be here all week. Veal is great. It's on special all week long. 1047 now on Legacy 1160 WSKW. I'm John James, and let's get back into the junk, the garbage, the stuff we don't want to talk about, but we have to. Portland, Oregon is now a war zone again. Has it stopped since the George Floyd killing? Listen to this. You wonder why you wonder why murders are up exponentially all across the country. No, you don't. No, you don't. The left does. The left is wondering, what is going on? It's Donald Trump. Donald Trump caused all these riots, all the racism. No, your idiocy of defunding police is what's causing it. Duh. I'm telling you right now, I don't mean it as an insult. I mean it as when I say leftism is a mental disorder, I'm not saying it as a talking point. I am not saying it just for a line to excoriate leftists. I'm saying it because it's the truth. In fact, it's proven truth. We talked about it last week. Leftists are 150% more likely, far leftists are more likely to suffer from mental disorder than moderates. Science. So it is a mental disorder. Defund the police, and they're still calling defund the police. Why is crime up? Now they're starting to refund the police. Not like we could have told them the minute they spoke the words that it was a stupid idea. No, they have to do it and then realize it and then try to find police who actually want to do the job. Well, good luck with that. That ship has sailed. Idiots. So far-left activists in Portland, Oregon, with the support of City Council member Joanne Hardesty, are trying to get a contracted city worker fired for displaying a thin blue line flag decal on his truck. A far-left, progressive, cop-hating city councilor joined the protesters. So this photo surfaced online, according to Post Millennial, showing an Oregon Concrete Solutions branded truck with the emblem of the thin blue line flag affixed to the front driver's side panel. It shows an American flag with a thin blue line running through the stripes, which is meant to show support for police officers and law enforcement. I mean, yeah. Nothing controversial about that. If you're a leftist with mental disorder, that is very controversial. Standing up for the police. Oregon Concrete Solutions, also known as Sidewalk Solutions, is based in Portland. The small-sized business has just a handful of employees. They're just a contract business for Portland, but they're a private business. And they're trying to get the contractor, even though the contractor is apparently doing a great job, doing what they're supposed to do. The thin blue line flag, no, that's the deal breaker. You'd think if you tuned into the show and you didn't know me, you didn't know my track record, you'd think I was just making half this stuff up. But sadly, I'm not. I'm not. Now, Hardesty's office, which is the company is Hardesty, Concrete Solutions. Hardesty is the leftist council member. Sorry, I'm conflating two different things here. Hardesty, this woman, Joanne Hardesty, is the leftist whose office and the Portland Bureau of Transportation were made aware of the contractor's thin blue line decal that was displayed while working for the PBOT, the Portland Bureau of Transportation. The thin blue line imagery is viewed by many in our community as a symbol of white supremacy. Ah, there it is. A symbol of white supremacy that has been prominently displayed by those that oppose the Black Lives Matter racial justice movement. And we understand this is causing distress in the community, Hardesty said. First of all, no, Black Lives Matter does not care about black people or black lives. Many of the protesters carrying the banner probably do want to help the community. But trust me, people who have given of their time, given of their money, the poor, the people who are supposed to be helped by Black Lives Matter and are giving of their limited resources. The money is being used to buy homes for the hierarchy of BLM Incorporated, not being used to help black people. They're just using the oppressed to get their money. And then they're laughing all the way to the bank. Oh, I've got more on that too, but not now. Not now. Also, this also in Portland, by the way, a prominent journalist, Andy No, you've probably heard of him before. He's an expert on Antifa. He was chased and attacked by black-clad Antifa extremists overnight Friday while covering the latest far-left protest in Portland, which doesn't stop. Now, on the one-year anniversary of the Portland riots that commenced in the wake of George Floyd's death, a man identified as Andy No, the journalist, was assaulted and chased into the downtown Nines Hotel by an angered mob of Antifa militants, yelling and shouting and throwing things. The Oregonian reported that Go, the author of Unmasked, Inside Antifa's Radical Plan to Destroy Democracy, was tackled and punched before he sought refuge inside the nearby hotel where he was able to escape. At the very least, this is a brutal anti-Asian hate crime by a communist mob in Portland. Oh, sorry, Trump had nothing to do with it. We're beginning to look more and more like a third world country in our major cities. It's sad, it's scary, it's very scary. And this is going to move. Seattle's always got things going on too. Seattle, where the Occupy Seattle, remember that last year? Well, they're still blocking traffic and causing problems in Seattle. Luckily, so far, it's staying mostly on the West Coast, although New York has certainly seen its share of problems. Murder rate is through the roof because de Blasio defunded the police. That was a good idea, Bill. Yep. All Democrat hellholes, all of them. All of them. Leftist, progressive, Democrat hellholes. And they want to blame Donald Trump. Imagine that. And there are people out there that believe it. Imagine that. And they are your friends and neighbors. You see it all over Facebook and Twitter. Imagine that. Imagine you live next to brain-damaged individuals like that, who hate America, who want to see America deconstructed, who want to see America torn down so it can be rebuilt in the image of Stalin or Marx. That's exactly what they want. They don't know this is what they're rooting for. They have no clue because they aren't that bright. Book smart, maybe. Objective, common sense, zero. Nope, none. Argue the point with me. Go ahead. Post on social media. Message me your number. I'll call you. We'll have a little give and take on the radio. How about that? I've shied away from that, though, recently because of idiots who like to get on and just start dropping swears just because. They're leftists. They show their left. Well, not all of them. Not all of them have done that. I've had some people on here talking smack about conservatives, basically talking smack, but they're at least polite. You know, they kiss you before they annihilate you. But then I've had other people, and you know who some of them are. One of them in particular, going by different names, likes to drop the F-bomb. Okay, well, that's not going to happen again. Not with you, wimp, little baby. All right, we've got to take a break here. We'll be back after the top of the hour with a lot more. Thanks for joining me. Please share, please comment, and I'll be right with you. I'm John James. This is Freedom's Pep Rally.
WSKW, Legacy 1160.
Hey everybody, it's Jeff here from K-Tronics, your local TV expert, and I want to tell you about Dish TV. If technology, value, and customer satisfaction are important to you, then it's time to cut the cable cord once and for all. Upgrade your TV experience and start saving with Dish today. Drop by K-Tronics at 57 Main Street in Madison. Call 207-696-3200 or visit us on the web at ktronicsmain.com. We are K-Tronics, your locally owned, operated, and trusted satellite TV experts.
Spring is the time for renewal for both you and your home. So brighten your day and your surroundings with great items from Town Line Antiques. Do you love classic decor? You'll find furniture, artwork, glassware, signs, and hundreds more pieces around every corner. Their classic colors and styles will have you thinking spring and feeling invigorated every time you see them. Or maybe you enjoy collecting books, comics, coins, sports memorabilia, watches, classic electronics. Town Line Antiques has rare items that you won't find anywhere else. Town Line is also showcasing a new display of art glass that's absolutely dazzling. Each piece is one of a kind with its own unique flair of colors and form. You'll simply have to see them to appreciate their beauty. And for everyone who loves to bring items back to life, they're now carrying high-quality fusion mineral paints that give you beautiful color and a durable, long-lasting finish. Town Line Antiques, open Tuesday through Sunday, 10 to 5, Route 201, right on the Winslow-Vassalboro Town Line.
Northern Light Health is seeking caring individuals that want to make a difference as patient service representatives, medical assistants, LPNs, and medication techs, registered nurses, CNAs, housekeepers, and physical therapists. And to make it easier than ever to join their team, they're hosting a Ride and Apply event Wednesday, June 2nd from noon to 6 in the parking lot of the Faith-Free Evangelical Church on Kennedy Memorial Drive in Waterville. This Ride and Apply event is the perfect chance to apply for full-time, part-time, and per diem opportunities currently available at Inland Hospital, Lakewood Continuing Care, Sebasticook Valley Hospital, and Home Care and Hospice. The right candidates will receive competitive pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, tuition reimbursement, and a 403B retirement plan. And did you know that classes, sponsorships, and scholarships are available to Northern Light employees? Plus, some positions are also eligible for a sign-on bonus. Stop by the hiring event on June 2nd or save time by pre-registering by texting RIDE and APPLY to 506-0033. Again, that's 506-0033. Northern Light Health is an equal opportunity employer.
I'm CBS 13 meteorologist Lexi O'Connor. Mostly cloudy to start this morning, then becoming partly sunny with the slight chance for a passing shower this afternoon and evening. It will be warmer with highs back in the mid-70s. Partly sunny, mid-70s to near 80 degrees tomorrow. Mostly cloudy with the chance for showers or a thunderstorm both Thursday and Friday. Low 70s Thursday, near 80 Friday.
From the Home Auto Group Studios, Farmington Ford and Franklin Chrysler in Farmington. This is WSKW, Skowhegan, Augusta, Waterville, Legacy 1160.
ABC News, I'm Jim Ryan. Moderna wants to get the words emergency use authorization taken off its COVID vaccine. The drug company has applied for full approval of its shot. President Biden travels to Tulsa today to visit the site of one of America's worst race massacres. It happened there 100 years ago exactly. Police in the Miami area have found the white SUV believed to belong to 3 gunmen suspected of ambushing a crowd exiting a club.
The manhunt in Miami for the 3 suspected gunmen wanted for a mass shooting, heavily armed with assault-style rifles. 2 people were killed, another 20 wounded. Police say some people in the crowd returned fire. The venue had been rented out for a local rapper's album release party. Police divers finding the suspect's vehicle submerged in a canal.
It's ABC's Victor Okendo in Miami. Tennis player Naomi Osaka is getting support from some of her fellow players after she pulled out of the French Open, citing mental health concerns. This is ABC News. Due in court today in Boston, a Celtics fan facing assault charges after throwing a water bottle at net star Kyrie Irving. More from ABC's TJ Holmes.
Since fans returned to arenas at the beginning of the playoffs, we've seen a fan spit on Atlanta Hawks star Trae Young at Madison Square Garden, and popcorn dumped on Russell Westbrook's head. And Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant says his family may not attend their next road game after the team indefinitely banned 3 fans accused of directing racist and insensitive remarks towards Morant's family at the last game in Utah.
Hundreds of volunteers are spreading out through the woods around Montezuma, Iowa, looking for an 11-year-old boy. Xavier Harrelson has been gone since last Thursday.
And I can't imagine what his parents are going through.
Temperatures dipping into the 40s each night since he went missing. Harrelson, who's about 4'8", was last seen near his home last Thursday morning, wearing a red t-shirt, blue pajama pants, and black high-top shoes.
That's ABC's Alex Perez. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Microban 24 protects against Staphylococcus aureus and Enterobacter aerogenes bacteria, but does not provide 24-hour protection against viruses. Every time you touch a surface, you leave behind bacteria. To keep surfaces sanitized all day, use Microban 24. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of viruses and bacteria initially. Once dry, Microban 24 is effective for 24 hours on bacteria when used as directed. Microban 24 sanitizing spray, bathroom, and multi-surface cleaner.
Okay, 3 dozen by tomorrow morning. Yeah, the roses and
Faraz's flower shop is blooming. To keep up with high demand, he must strengthen his business's roots.
Just 1 second. Faraz's flowers. Hold, please. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to Faraz's.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
All right. We're back. It's Freedom's Pep Rally Hour 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Time is it? Do a time check here. Time at the tone, 11:04. All right. Back into the swing. We got some cackling Cammy news. Oh, cackling Cammy, get on board. Willie Brown makes you seem like a guitar strumming. I've got a treat for you too after this story. I want you to hear the story. Shows how out of touch this woman is. The person who's going to lead, supposedly going to lead the free world, that she can't wait. She was saying, will Joe Biden hurry up and get sick? Something. So, Cackling Cammy was the first woman to deliver the keynote speech at Navy Academy at the ceremony, their graduation ceremony. And she referenced female empowerment several times during her address. Nothing wrong with empowered females, nothing wrong at all with that. But I mean, it's one of her things, that and climate change, her things. So she even tried to make a cute little joke about solar panels and batteries. Now, first of all, this is probably the least funny human being on earth, and she has got the least connected audience to any of what their stupidity is. But she has to fight the good fight, save the planet from the existential threat of climate change. And somehow, watch how clever she is, somehow she's going to tie it into the military. Wow, is she clever or what? That's our cackling Cammy. Yeah. Woo, she's clever. So she always has to come back to sustainability, which, you know, these men and women graduating from Naval Academy probably just think, we just shut up. You know, we're in it to win it. You know, if we get called, we're in it to go out and fight for America's Constitution and sovereignty and its people. And you're just shut up, cackling Cammy. I would have been saying that if I were in the crowd. So anyway, she tells a joke and she laughs at it, though the graduates didn't even seem to find it amusing. I love it. She is so into, Kamala Harris is so into Kamala Harris. She has no idea who she's talking with. Listen.
You are electrical engineers who will soon help convert solar and wind energy into power, convert solar and wind energy into combat power.
What?
And just ask any Marine today, would she rather carry 20 pounds of batteries or a rolled up solar panel? And I am positive she will tell you a solar panel, and so would he.
She is such a joke. She literally is. She's a joke. She is the gift that keeps on giving. Video of Harris' joke was widely circulated on Twitter, and naturally it got backlash, and I love the backlash these things get. I love it. Here's one. Newsmax's Benny Johnson said the joke was humiliating. He tweeted, "Cringe alert. Kamala Harris tells woke joke about a female Marine at the Navy Academy. It bombs." Here are some other responses. Cadets groan as Kamala cackles awkwardly alone on stage. Kamala also told the cadets to use wind energy for combat power. Oh, and by the way, between sustainable, if we're going to go to war, we've got to win this war. We've got to win this war for America's sovereignty. But damn it, we've got to use green energy, and we've got to make sure that we have enough transgenders, and we've got to make sure there is no racism. But after we get all that taken care of, then we can worry. Then we can worry about winning on the battlefield. But we've got to meet all these. How far we've fallen in a few months. If ever America, and I hate to say this, but if ever America as a country was saying, okay, come at us, our hands are up, don't shoot, hands up, don't shoot, it's now. Right now, they're laughing at Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the whole administration. They're laughing at this woke administration. They're laughing. They aren't thinking, oh, America's back, America. No, they're not. They're thinking, what the hell happened to America? They were strong. They were a formidable foe. Now look at them. Now look at them. They put on panties and thongs, and they're running around saying, woke, woke, sustainability. We'll pay for your gender, what do they call it? The gender reassignment surgery. The government's paying for that to lure more transgenders because that's real important on the battlefield. They are laughing at us. And the woke people think, oh, don't we look good to the rest of the world? Clueless children. We're the adults in the room. Don't forget that. Here's some other responses to Kamala's lame joke. The Biden humiliation of our military continues, says one. Biden also appeared to be a flop when he made a speech at the Coast Guard graduation ceremony last week. Remember, he told the joke about the Marines and the perimeter, and I can't remember how it went. So there's two, I mean, these are two people who should not be at any military function at all. And it's like sending Xi Jinping to speak to the U.S. Marines or Vladimir Putin to speak to the Army or Navy. Somebody who wants to see the destruction of our military. That's what Kamala and Joe Biden. Windmills and solar panels and batteries for combat? Hello? How about artillery? How about mortars and bazookas and tanks and smart missiles and solar power and wind power? All right, so You might have seen the tweet that Kamala sent out over the weekend. There's a conservative woman on Twitter who has got the Kamala Harris impression nailed right down to the awkward cackle. This is amazing. Unfortunately, when she did the tweet, she had music playing in the background. Could have done without that, but still, I'm going to play it for you because it's quite epic. Now, Kamala put a tweet out from Memorial Day, which looked like it looked like a glamour shot, her hair blown back and that soft smile and a nice filter on her beautiful, beautiful Kamala face. And her tweet out for Memorial Day weekend that looked like a glamour shot was, "Enjoy the long weekend." This is a head of state who was getting ready to speak at a Naval Academy graduation. Enjoy the long weekend. As widows and widowers sit at home getting ready to go out and put flowers on the graves of their loved ones who died in the line of duty. Have a great long weekend, says Kamala. Cackling because it's all about her. It's all the focus is on Kamala. Hey, look, it's me, Kamala, the one young women want to grow up to be like. I am taking my time to wish you a great long weekend. That means something. The Vice President of the United States didn't even acknowledge the fallen heroes the long weekend was meant to remember. So now with that, now that you have that as a backdrop, here is the Kamala sound-alike, trying to figure out what to tweet out for America this Memorial Day weekend. I love this.
Let's send out a Memorial Day tweet. Let's see. Today we honor our fallen heroes. That sounds too VP-ish. Like I actually care. Come and celebrate and memorialize. Come. Sounds too slutty. Sounds like I've got my knee pads back. I know. Enjoy the long weekend. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I love that. Is that this woman, I hope she does more. I got to find out who she is. I would love to I would love to get her on the show as a regular guest. As Kamala Harris. Epic. I'm going to find out who she is. I've got ways. Don't ask me how. If you know, let me know. You're a way I could find out. Like a York peppermint patty, she had the sensation. Yeah, she had the sensation all right. Oh, boy. Let's see. What do we have here? It's all 11:17 on Legacy 1160 WSKW. And let's look at what the idiots in college are learning. And they don't have to be idiots. I mean, you're paying enough money for your kids to go to college, so they should come out smarter than what they went in. But that is not the case in many cases. Many of them are going to come out less smart, more stupid, and more woke. Sad, but it's true. Campus Reform did a study, and here's how I love this. They do these great bits to figure out what college students are thinking. In this one, they took a petition to Washington, D.C., and they asked college students if they would sign it. The petition asked them if they would be in favor of banning Memorial Day because of its imperialist roots. In other words, get rid of Memorial Day. Do not celebrate the war dead because the war dead are not worthy of being celebrated. And if they agreed that Memorial Day should be banned, they'd sign the petition. I'm not going to make you guess whether or not people signed it. They were eager. They were eager to sign it. Now, please don't confuse the enlightened woke students you're going to hear for idiots. I could understand why you would. Actually, perhaps they are. Perhaps woke is synonymous with idiot, come to think of it. But listen, this is campus reform, and they are talking to some college student, woke, I've got to be careful now, woke college students in Washington, D.C. about Memorial Day. Listen.
I didn't really think of in this way until I got to college, and I took women's and gender studies classes, and that put me on this path.
Okay, wait a minute. No, that was the... No, let's do... Okay, let's do the first cut first. That wasn't it. Sorry about that. Okay, that was a little tease as to what's to come. Okay, here we go. Woke students, Washington, D.C., talking with campus reform.
We're talking about Memorial Day. Is this a holiday that you support? Is this something that you're going to be celebrating?
I'm not celebrating. I don't think Memorial Day should be a thing that we celebrate personally.
Okay, why not?
I feel like it's a celebration of U.S. imperialism and colonialism, personally. It's not like an attack on any individual, but more of a system.
Absolutely not. I think it represents a lot of negative aspects of America and highlights something that, people shouldn't necessarily be proud of. If we're going to honor and celebrate the dead, I think it should be those that lost their lives to, genocide in America.
Genocide in America. We should be celebrating those who lost their lives to genocide in America. This is what the kids are learning in college. Fake history. Fake history. Genocide in America? Wait, what? As I said, the campus reform guy got a lot of people to happily sign. So finally, let's go back to the first guy. Let's go back to the first guy who had an equally woke female next to him, eager to sign the petition, and, we're so woke. Thought she was having the big O there for a minute. She was so excited to sign that petition. He told the interviewer how he got so woke. Listen.
I didn't really think of in this way until I got to college, and I took women's and gender studies classes, and that put me on this path where the U.S.
Okay, so you took the gender studies classes, and you had this kind of revelation.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it about the class?
I was always into social justice, but I didn't have the language for that. And then it kind of gave me that language and made me realize how everything is connected. And for me, I was on this spirituality type journey where I was we're all one or whatever. And what I was learning in social justice, was the material analysis I needed to practice what I feel exists on the spiritual plane in real everyday life.
Very cool. Would you be down to completely abolish the military?
Yes, please.
Please, let's abolish the military. What a smart young man-child. I bet he wears a satin thong that's so tight it pulls his testicles into his abdomen. What do you want to bet? Well, maybe they ought to teach you some English skills, like how to get through a sentence without saying 100 times. Okay? That's what they're teaching kids. That's what they're learning at USM, University of Southern Maine. They're woke. They follow the teachings of Ibram Kendi, anti-racist, critical race theory. Hallelujah. Say amen, amen. And a women. It's just stupid. Mike sums it up so well, Mike Violette, when he says, we are living in the stupidest times ever. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Like, I'm sure his parents are so, proud. Alany, thank you. And it's hard to top that, but I'm going to try. Now you've seen from students how absolutely horrible academia is. And there you go. There you go. Those are the idiots coming out of college. These probably these tenured professors making $500,000 a year, more or less. This is what they do for a job. I'm not kidding you. It's not about teaching. It's not about teaching real history. It's not about teaching real economics. It's not about teaching real American values. It's about teaching wokeism. It's not a curriculum. It's not. It's just radical. It's a radical doctrine. It's a dogma. It's not curriculum. It's a dogma. It's a religion. From climate change to open borders to capitalism sucks to Memorial Day should be banned. Not one part of it praises America for anything. Did you hear what he said in there? I bleeped it out. F America. But you're in America. F America, he says. And the woman who was not the woman with the guy, the woman that said, we should be remembering those who died of American genocide. They hate America. They hate America. Get the hell out of America. We could do with a few less people, more land for the rest of us. We'll tear down the stupid solar panels and the stupid windmills that are a blight on the environment, that are a blight on the mountaintops. And we'll build nuclear plants. Yeah, the environment will still be clean, cleaner than it is now with fossil fuels. But we won't have to have windmills scattered across the mountainsides. These beautiful, shiny solar panels on every farm field, or former farm field. Go. Don't like it? Go. Get out. Don't let that big old American gate on the border hit you in the ass on the way out. Run! Run, Joey, run! 11:27. So while many have been trying to hide any link or deny any link between critical race theory and Marxism, if you say critical race theory is Marxism, they're going to say, you're just a Trumpster. You're just a Trumpster. You're telling lies. You're a liar. No, you're just stupid, okay? Let me tell you where the bear in the woods. You are just in denial. You are dumb. Got a professor here even admitting it. What? A woke professor? How dare he? How dare he let our secrets out? Well, thanks to Zoom. Thanks to Zoom and all the closures. Oh, we know a lot more now about what the evil left is doing because they've been busted. So one assistant professor openly admits that critical race theory is based on the teachings of Karl Marx. So don't let them tell you when you equate Marxism and critical race theory, when you conflate the two, Don't let them tell you, well, stop conflating those two things. That's wrong. Marxism is Marxism. Critical race theory is anti-racism. They're one and the same, my friend. Glenn Bracey is an assistant professor of sociology and criminology at Villanova, a private Catholic institution. He's a strong proponent of critical race theory because it has Marxist roots. He made the admission during a remote discussion about critical race theory on Zoom. Thank heavens for Zoom. Otherwise, this may still be in the shadows. But it's out. The seminar was posted on Villanova's official YouTube channels, which turned off comments. No comments allowed on this one. They knew what they'd get. The video's called, What is Critical Race Theory? Listen to this guy, Glenn Bracey, professor, extol the virtues of critical race theory and Marxism.
I want to say that the Marxist foundation of critical race theory is
right there
at base a spiritual concern. If you read Marx, you know that he was concerned about alienation, specifically alienation of the species being, that element of humanity that provides creativity, that is unique to the individual, that really gives us, it is what defines humans from animals in that case. And that Marx was concerned that our modern systems were flattening that humanity and alienating us from the creative endeavors that we were, Christians would say, we were designed to emulate and to practice.
They don't like Christians.
The core
they don't
question
like Christians.
For critical race theory is one of releasing people, especially people of color, especially Black people, from the oppressive systems that deny us access to our species being, including racism. It's Marxism, my point being, critical race theory's Marxism is fundamentally a spiritual concern.
Wow. Boy, too bad they couldn't praise Donald Trump the way this guy just praised Karl Marx. Woo! Spiritual awakening. Marx, yeah, go Marx. I didn't understand half what he was saying. Spiritual awakening and discombobulating Cabaljuk. Oh, he might have well been speaking up for. He was just so articulate and woke and intellectual. Fellow professors, I'm sure, understood him. Apparently, Marxism is the new democracy. How about that? At least among colleges, Black Lives Matter and progressives think Marx is cool. Marx is all that in a bag of potato chips. Karl Marx, you rock. Donald Trump, Orange Man, bad. Hitler. They're so backwards. They've got everything backwards. They don't deserve to live in a free country. I'm serious. The woke progressives do not deserve this country. They should leave. They don't deserve it here. Way more than what they deserve. Way more. Academia, mainstream media, the progressive left in Congress, the progressive lefts out in our society, those are the Twitter trolls and the Facebook trolls. They have none no reason to deserve this country. But they won't leave. Why? Well, America's great. It's the greatest place. Well, if it's so great, why are you always trying to change everything? Why do you want everything to be a different way if you've grown to love it here and don't ever want to move because it's It's such a great place. Why do you want to upend the system? What's going on now makes the turbulent 60s look like a carnival. These people are destructive. And I don't know as it can be stopped. Tammy Bruce, you probably have heard the name if you watch Fox News. She was on with Steve Hilton this weekend talking about what is so obvious to us but can't even be seen by the tolerant leftists. Marxism is right here. Marxism is paying us an unwelcome visit. And you know what it looks like? It looks like the people you see every day at the store, at work, on Facebook, on Twitter. That's what it looks like. That's what Marxism looks like. They don't get it. They're clueless. Tammy Bruce isn't. Tammy Bruce isn't clueless. Students are being told by their woke professors that the culture of America must be destroyed. Like Ilhan Omar says about the Minneapolis police. The police must be dismantled in order for something beautiful to rise. These kids are not being taught history. They're being taught how to be woke victims. Victimhood. Everyone a victim. You're a victim. You're a victim. Everybody's a victim. Here's Tammy Bruce, who, by the way, happens to be gay. Don't know if you knew that or not. Whoa, Fox News has a gay. Yeah, she's gay, and she is every bit an American. God bless Tammy Bruce. People like this, I know a bunch of gay conservatives. I personally know a bunch of gay conservatives. What? I also know some rabid gay lefties. Tammy Bruce is one of the good ones. She gives a little history lesson before she begins telling the truth about what the woke victims want. Listen, Tammy Bruce.
To the Chinese Mao Cultural Revolution. Also, the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia and the killing fields, and even the Castro brothers in Cuba, very stark examples of this leftist belief that everything must be destroyed, that culture, in fact, does matter, as you elucidated in your monologue about the early Marxists recognizing that who we are as a people and what binds us together as a community matters. For the left, there can be no community.
Right.
For the left, there can be nothing that is looked to that is beyond the government, the singular leader. We saw this, of course, in fascism in the 20th century. People thought that was new. No, it's not. It's just kind of a different version with some different spice of socialism and Marxism. And I think this is what the young Americans do not know because of education no one's being taught about the Khmer Rouge, about China, the Chinese Communist Party, what it is about to destroy an entire system in order to rebuild it. Now, what we know, what that really means is the destruction of the educated, of people who might lift people up into something more, the destruction of people of faith, the destruction of faith itself, of religion. Of course, the Soviet Union is the most modern example in a sense. But that was true and is true with the left in general. What we're seeing is not new. It is, of course, packaged different for the 21st century and our mass media, which makes it even more difficult to deal with. But what I would say is it's not a mistaken difference in, Steve, the goals. Like normally all roads lead to Rome. Not here. The conservative road leads to Rome. The the Liberal Road leads to the cliffs of the Palisades. It looks very nice as you're going to the Palisades there, and then you're off that cliff. It is about the ladder of success. The left wants to destroy that ladder. It's not about lifting other people up.
Yes.
It is convincing people that victimhood and racism, in fact, will never be abolished, and that what we saw in the killing fields is the only way to overcome it is to eliminate the people who have done this to you. Now, we've got to recognize the seriousness of it, and you're right. It is the conservative movement that can do this, and I think a lot of liberals listening right now, and conservative and classical liberals, I hate to tell them, they are part of the conservative movement of individual freedom.
There you go, Tammy Bruce. Smart lady right there. Nails it. Did I mention she's gay? What? You know, sometimes, and I don't mean this to be condescending in any way, but sometimes people need to hear from others that they align with in order, and it's a groupthink thing. It's a groupthink thing. They are so engaged with the groupthink of the left that until somebody they respect, who they have something in common with, until somebody like that speaks out and says something, they will not listen. It's all like wah, 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 Charlie Brown's teacher. And then suddenly you have a woman like Tammy Bruce, who is openly gay, has admitted it on TV. I don't know if you ever heard her admit it, but she has admitted it. It's not a secret. Then people say, "What? Whoa. Somebody on Fox, they're actually up. Yeah, she's talented. She's smart. Why wouldn't Fox News have her? Why? Well, because conservatives they're not for. Shut up. Stop making stuff up. We are the most inclusive bunch of people in America. It is the left that is radical and not inclusive. They only include certain segments of society who they align with. We don't have to align with people. We base people on their character, on their intelligence, in this business, on their talent. What? There's an epiphany for you. Yeah, go ahead, spread that around. That won't happen, will it? We'll be back. I've got to take a break. I'm John James.
Legacy 1160, WSKW.
Hey, folks, who's thinking about spring? Hi, this is Bernie from Trailside Performance. If you're taking on those tough chores around your property, come check out the #1 selling farm tractor in the world, Mahindra. Not only are Mahindra tractors tough, but they come with a 7-year warranty to back it up. With Mahindra, there's no regeneration, no diesel particulate filter, and no hassle. I personally invite you to our Winslow or Newport location to learn more about Mahindra and their awesome discounts and finance programs. At Trailside Performance, we service what we sell, and we sell Mahindra.
What's important here at Moody's is we have a lot of opportunity for upward mobility.
Moody's definitely helped me through. They sent me to school. I got my degree in business. I had the demeanor and I had the willpower and the want.
Our trade is constantly changing and there's always new challenges that arise.
I definitely feel like an owner. It's very exciting.
When you like what you do, you like your job, you like the people you work with, what else could you ask for?
Bring your skills to Moody's and build a long-term future with us.
I'm CBS 13 meteorologist Lexi O'Connor. Mostly cloudy to start this morning, then becoming partly sunny with the slight chance for a passing shower this afternoon and evening. It will be warmer with highs back in the mid-70s. Partly sunny, mid-70s to near 80 degrees tomorrow. Mostly cloudy with the chance for showers or thunderstorm both Thursday and Friday. Low 70s Thursday, near 80 Friday.
Good morning. Welcome back. Legacy 1160 Freedom's Pep Rally 1143. Check out our new app. You can get it on the Google Play Store. I don't know if that's what it's called. The Apple Store. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it is the Legacy 1160 app, powered by Hardy Wolf and Downing attorneys. So make sure you get it. And remember, today, baseball. It's baseball at Skowhegan. I think Brewer. I think it's Brewer. I should have looked that up. But it's at Skowhegan, the Skowhegan Riverhawks. Did I get that right? Used to be the Indians. Riverhawks are going to be playing at home today, 5 o'clock. Mike Violette here on the radio with all of the action for you. Okay, so where do we go from here? There's so much I could go. Do we want to talk about Israel, or do we want to talk about the reason critical race theory is all of a sudden becoming the big push, which is in and of itself, all by itself, critical race theory can destroy America. By itself. Not to mention, we have, at the same time, we have the neutering of our military. We have the neutering of our infrastructure. We have the neutering of our border. Think about it that way. Think of what is being neutered here. That is power taken away from the border, right? The border is non-existent under Joe Biden. The military. We got to stand down. We got to weed out racism. We've got to get more transgendered people in. We've got to have solar and wind power in combat. Kamala Harris told a stone-faced audience at Navy Academy this weekend. What'd she just say? What did she just say? Oh, it must have been funny. She laughed. No, not really. Not funny. Let's talk about little bit. We'll talk a little bit about race here, because systemic racism and white privilege and white supremacy, these are perceptions. And I'm sure you've heard the old adage, perception is reality. Well, it doesn't take much to get the leftist radicals to perceive something. You tell them if you have enough lefties, the mob, tell them, like Black Lives Matter, which Black Lives Matter, by the way, who is not for Black Lives. Black Lives Matter Incorporated is not for Black Lives. They're opportunists. But they're the ones that have been telling people systemic racism, white privilege, white supremacy. And that's all it takes. Somebody the mob respects. And all of a sudden, boom, their perception is there is systemic racism, white supremacy all over this great country of ours. But you know who's not buying it? I dare say probably most blacks are not buying this. Most blacks aren't even buying this. I could name a bunch of famous ones, but why not focus for a second on somebody who's not famous? There was a video on TikTok released by a black man who was responding to the apparent celebration over George Floyd, the folk hero, George Floyd. Oh, they were making him out to be a folk hero. He is changing policing. He is changing. George Floyd is the man. George Floyd Plaza. We've got, well, there's a black guy here, just a regular black guy like you and me. He was answering a post by someone who said, "Where was your intelligent ass when she was talking down on black people and insulting black people, disrespecting George Floyd, who was murdered?" Now, I don't know who this person was talking about, But this guy was responding to that tweet. Now remember, this is a black guy. He's not a famous black guy. He's just a guy. And this is what he had to say. Whoops. Hold on. I just somehow I lost it here. Okay. So he's just a guy. And here is what he had to say on TikTok. And as soon as I can find it here. Okay, let's go.
What exactly did she insult black folks with? You tell me. I want to know what the insult was. You tell me what the insult was. And tell me what was so awesome about George Floyd that I should just respect him because he got killed. Do you know how many children get killed every day by other black people and no one says anything about them? No respect paid to their graves, nothing?
Right.
No one snitches on the people that actually killed them? Nothing.
Right.
But I must respect George Floyd. Why? What did George Floyd do that I should respect him? The dude was high as a freaking kite. He lived a certain life. He got a certain result. Why should I feel bad? What the hell is wrong with you people? Why don't you go through the obituaries of all the children that get shot in gang violence every damn day? Talk about that. What exactly am I supposed to be sorry for? You people are absolute fools, man. I swear to just dumb.
Dumb. How? That was one of the most intelligent things on this show today. Nails it. Nails it. It's a mental disorder. They're brain damaged. This guy, like us, trying to figure out what the hell are they thinking? What is wrong with their brains? Don't try to figure it out. There is no brain smart enough in this world to figure out what is wrong with their brains. They're just, suffice it to say, they're screwed up. They're mentally messed up. They were hacked by the Russians, maybe. I don't know. They can't understand normal thinking. That's an acronym, by the way. I don't like the acronym, but I do like the sentiment. Cannot understand normal thinking. They can't. They cannot. 11:51 on Legacy 1160 WSKW. Time for time. Well, let's do one more thing here. We'll stick with Black Lives Matter, seeing as we're into it. Black Lives Matter stands up for the little guy. That's what the left believes. Because that's what they're told to believe by the mob. Guess what? Guess what? It's a lie. It's a ruse. In reality, it's big money corporate enterprise. That's what BLM is. Designed to build big-hearted, weak-minded radical progressives into virtue signaling through donations and social media hashtags. The co-founder has now cashed in. Patrisse Cullors. Now she's moving on to bigger and more lucrative things. The embattled former executive director of Black Lives Matter has resigned so she can focus on a book and a TV deal. Ha! Her last day with the foundation was last week, according to the New York Post. She said, I've created the infrastructure and the support and the necessary bones and foundation so that I can leave. It feels like the time is right. She can move into one of her 3 or 4 mansions that she bought with donations from the oppressed people she purportedly helps exalt and take care of. Ha! 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 Patrisse Cullors, wow! What a phony, what a fake! Her resignation comes amid controversy over the group's finances and Cullors' personal wealth, including an alleged real estate buying spree in which she snagged 4 high-end homes for $3.8 $2 million in the United States, looking at another one in the Bahamas, according to property records reported last month. She said her departure has been in the works and is not tied to those attacks. Well, of course not. Of course not. No, she's a good person. She said those were right-wing attacks that tried to discredit my character, and I don't operate off what the right thinks about me. Well, it's not just the right, honey. Not just, but remember, Patrisse Cullors is she's a community organizer, and she's a Marxist. Trained in Marxism. Surprise, surprise. Marxism, CRT, we know the tie. They're one and the same. Even before the story about her lavish lifestyle broke last month, a lot of people on the left were questioning the expenditures made by BLM. Local chapters complained they were raising money for the organization, but were not getting any support. Imagine! Out there doing what they thought was God's work. And giving the money, fistful of money. We're collecting money from these poor people. They can't afford it. They don't have a pot to pee in. But they're giving money because you are righteous. You are here to help. Crickets. Nothing. Nothing came back. The corporation's giving. Why? Because they believe in BLM? No, because they are virtuous. They're better than you because they give to righteous causes. But now the cat's out of the bag. Now the window shade has been pulled up, and now we see. Everybody on the right sees, everybody on the right, and some on the left are starting to see. Here's what Rashad Turner of the Minnesota Parent Union had to say about BLM. Now, let me give you a little background on Rashad Turner. He has a little insider information on BLM. He is the founder of the St. Paul, Minnesota chapter of Black Lives Matter. He is the founder. He is no longer associated with them, because he went from woke to really literally awake. Rashad Turner, listen.
I was born in Minneapolis in 1985. We called the North Side home at that time, 18th and Queen. When I was 2 years old, my father was shot and killed. My mother wasn't able to take care of me, so I was raised by my grandparents. They told me that if I was going to change my life for the better, education was the answer. So I worked hard in school. I got into Hamline University and earned a college degree, first in my family. Then I went on to earn a master's in education from St. Mary's University of Minnesota. I am living proof that no matter your start in life, quality education is a pathway to success. I want the same success for our children in our communities. That's why in 2015, I was a founder of Black Lives Matter in St. Paul. I believe the organization stood for exactly what the name implies. Black lives do matter. However, after a year on the inside, I learned they had little concern for rebuilding Black families, and they cared even less about improving the quality of education for students in Minneapolis. That was made clear when they publicly denounced charter schools alongside the teachers union. I was an insider in Black Lives Matter, and I learned the ugly truth. The moratorium on charter schools does not support rebuilding the Black family, but it does create barriers to a better education for Black children. I resigned from Black Lives Matter after a year and a half, but I didn't quit working to improve Black lives and access to a great education. Today, I serve as the president and executive director of Minnesota Parent Union. We're dedicated to helping parents move their children from failing schools to successful schools. It's hard work, and we're up against forces that don't want us to succeed. But success is possible. Just look at me and the hundreds of children and families we've helped to pursue a great education, break the chains of poverty, and lead a life of success.
Wow. Wow. Very nice, very true, very well spoken. You can't deny it. That guy's name, Rashad Turner, founded St. Paul BLM chapter, resigned, not helping anybody, he says. Now he's helping people because now he's taken the bull by the horns. He has taken his ambition and put it to good use, which anybody in this country, believe it or not, can do if they have the wherewithal and if they aren't drinking the Kool-Aid, if they aren't sheeple. Oh, and by the way, I'll leave you with this. I mentioned this last week. Next time you hear somebody on the news, and I heard it all weekend long, and every time I heard it, I said racist, including John Carl on ABC when he was talking about COVID-19 possibly coming from the Wuhan lab. Has to admit it now. He stumbled all over that admission. But he mentioned people of color. People of color, according to a BLM activist, is racist. So you're running out of terms to use. I'm not sure. How about just people? How about just people? Just brothers and sisters in the whole human family and the whole human race. Why do we talk about color? Because they cannot let race go. They need it to keep the mob fed, to keep the mob enraged. Poor, hungry, ignorant sheeple. Feel sorry for them. Feel sorry for all of us. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, Mike Violette in Skowhegan today. Baseball at 5 o'clock right here on Legacy 1160 WSKW. Mike will be here at 6 tomorrow morning, too, and I'll be back at 9 tomorrow. Have a great day. I'm John James.
Legacy 1160 WSKW.
Hi, this is Teresa Smith, Director of Advising at Kennebec Valley Community College. There's no denying that the past year has been one of challenges and uncertainty. Many of you have had to change or even postpone your educational plans. Still, by working together and caring for one another, things in Maine are looking up. We're getting back to normal, and no one could be happier about this than the faculty and staff at KVCC. With a wide variety of online summer classes available, you don't have to wait